Hello there everybody, Sabata92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now then, last episode we literally got started on the 5th episode, Rise from the Ashes. Got to meet our slew of some new characters, some lady likes to sell stuff, and Childish Gambina. So, it seems like a lot of these cases just focus directly around Edgeworth. May as well just call this the Edgeworth Chronicles, because almost every case so far has had some connection to him. Other than that, seems like somebody's trying to pin the blame on him or something. Or wait, no. I was gonna say it seems like somebody's trying to pin the blame on him, but we also have some lady that looks eerily similar to Mia. And now we got this new girl, and as well as some new mechanics to the game, examining evidence and stuff. Shit's wild, yo. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How'd the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright. Let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. Huh? But isn't it the defense attorney's job to try to protect their client? The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, You remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is... You're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Oh boy. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. Hey, Mia. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Are you allowed? Okay. February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Hi, Edgeworth. Oh, for the love of God, keep some actual... You know what, never mind. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow. He's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. Edgeworth has that ability, doesn't he? However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Oh boy. Sup? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Oh, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. What? Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Oh, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, How does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me. The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up! Oh my goodness, this is actually quite good. Do we have any drinks around here? Oh, there's my coffee. Ah, that is actually quite delicious. Anyway, so, what is for dessert? For the love of God, Your Honor! Okay, fine, Edgeworth, God. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. Oh! She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Aha! I know who you are! Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Holy shit! Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? Very high up, apparently. If I might have the court's attention over here. Okay. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with his knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans. The parking lot with Edgeworth's car was added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? I would prefer that you don't... Wait, what? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. What the fuck, Your Honor? Your Honor, I'm going to have to kind of agree. What the actual fuck? Wait, are they talking about me? They're talking about you. Oh, boy. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my final home detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Through the wire fence? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. So you were in B block. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. Anyway, as you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. Your Honor, I don't think that's very appropriate. Oh, shut up. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Did you resist, Monty Python? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Resisting. Alright, cross-examination. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than words. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr, even though you have a clear bias against prosecutors. Who's your boyfriend? This boyfriend. He's the detective? Oh, not that boyfriend, the security guard. Wait, not that boy. How many do you have? That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunges, thanks. You hesitated, Your Honor. Don't point me out! Note to self. The judge had to think before replying. Yeah, I noticed that. Yes, I even noticed that. The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. Give me a minute. Okay, so she was in B block and... Okay, yeah, judging by the position of the car, then she probably... Taking her testimony into account, she would have been able to see because we have the trunk over here on the left side of that car, and that's where the body was found, so it would make sense for her if she was on B block, she would actually see the face of the killer, but I'm still believing my client, goddammit. I'm just trying to piece that together, that's all. You sensed something. So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... How would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I can already hear my monsters desperately begging for pumpkins right now. I have no idea what that means. I get it. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Well, then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. I heard that. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean mine? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed is also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. I swear, are we going to have another Edgeworth case again? No, Your Honor, not this time, I hope. I'm getting tired of this, honestly. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness! In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. Your Honor, my witness just threatened the defendant. That was inspiring. She just fucking threatened me. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are home. Oh shit. A photograph. You took this? Oh. Oh. Wait, why is she... Oh, that's... Wait. The fuck? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. What? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness! Why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. The moment of the crime is photographed by Angel Starr. Oh. How the hell do I... Oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Wait, holding a knife in her right hand. Where's the knife now? Oh wait, it's in the body. Oh, I'm an idiot. Where's the knife? Wait. Of course there is no fingerprints. And that's because she's wearing gloves. Because what self-respecting criminal would not wear gloves when they're about to stab or shoot someone? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. What? You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg? I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? No, you're literally just making all of us hungry. Please stop. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? I'm invincible? No, we're gonna get sued if we keep making references. Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me cold. Don't smile like that! Huh. Somehow you always knew a day like this would come. Not sure what this, I mean, this has a fingerprint. This has a handprint on it for some reason. Which I realize there's also a smudge over there, which means it looks like it was freshly painted. Shame I can't actually further examine that. I could go for semantics, considering it's behind the car. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that evidence and the statement now just not related? They aren't, are they? Nope, they are not. You fucked up again. What the hell's wrong with you? I don't think that won me any points. Of course I did, because I'm an idiot! Well... The photo that you gave me doesn't show her actually holding the knife, though. I think I might be right in my initial assumption that I had earlier, so I think I'm gonna try to... I fucked up once, but I'm gonna try this at least. I guess that's what I need to do. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes, I swear to my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph! Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem? Except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ugh. You got a better idea? Objection! Wait! That contradicts what the testimony said in her testimony! Wait. What the hell? You want to try that again? Sorry. Wait! That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Well, you kind of fucked it up the first time. I'm not even going to pay attention to that one. Namely, that she took a picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Objection! Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Hold it! What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? Really? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. That's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated murder. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star. This is bad. Well, I mean, you do realize you just kind of she could have tried to pull an autopsy here, you know? She's got them thinking this is all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Good God. Some hours news to come. Through the wire fence, she prosecuted. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. The rubber gloves prove it. The rubber gloves prove it. But, oh! Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. Wait a minute! Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder. Oh, the defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, your prosecutor's bad people. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Well, seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Yeah, because guess what? The knife was in the trunk. Unless she knew beforehand. She could not have planned around that. She had to have had a weapon and she was gonna fucking get the murder! Sorry. I'm good. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Gotcha. Order, order, order. Oh, by the way, I'd like to order some of that salmon, by the way. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Oh my God, really? Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I'm not in the mood for humble. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, I've been waiting all day to try that one. Anyway, I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Okay, really now. Oh boy. Angel's deduction. Goody. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. But it was only one wound. Fuck you! I just fucking... Wait a minute. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? No, fuck off! The autopsy said it was with one knife wound.
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
Emma, are you okay?
Nah, not really.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. I already know what to press on, or not press on, but I know what to contradict here, but I want to press to get dialogue. Boy, you've said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt the storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Edgeworth! Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves.
You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there.
You have no proof that she didn't. This is something I like to call a devil's proof.
She seems to really like using that. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone.
She might have written him a letter.
Oh, come on! You could have tried public phone first, at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't! That's because she didn't have a grudge!
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know you have it wrapped?
See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox of pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. This entire thing is just making me crave food. That suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this?
It's simple.
A human machine? That's a contradiction! Objection! Really? Oh, for God's sakes, please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright?
Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit.
What? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly?
We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people!
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know.
Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact.
I wonder, would it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required. I know what to press.
Objection! You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you.
With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
Really? Really?
Yes. Really. You've been making me hungry this entire goddamn time! What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk! He's my hero, really.
Okay. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness?
You got the crime scene set, right?
What? How many sets do you have, woman? Oh, thanks?
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she looked at her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from the victim. Her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Good Lord. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Red muffler? What's a muffler? Her red muffler? What the? Wait. What? What the? Wait. I need to press that. What the hell's a muffler? Her red muffler?
Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her.
Oh, a muff. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. She's not wearing anything. We have photo proof that shows you she's not.
So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
She's right. Oh, that thing! Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But, wait, is that in the photo? No, it isn't! That's what a muffler is. I thought it was a scarf. I thought it was literally just a scarf. But, wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance.
Chance for what, I wonder? Well, I know what to counter her with because the photo that she took shows that she's not wearing a scarf. Or, a muffler. Objection! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be!
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really.
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
But what?
Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. Okay, this next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Let's hope.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earliest testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. Uh-huh.
Okay. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Fair enough.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman, Rao.
Don't ever make that noise ever again. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. Hold it! So, where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. Oh, that's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. Yep, there it is.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Huh. Maybe we should press it for more details. Yeah, let's do it. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr?
Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The call-up queen, large lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high, too. Oh, wait. She can make the argument that she climbed on top of this vehicle to get a higher chance of being able to get up there. So how did Miss Sky not get away? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
Cheeky.
Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone?
She can't mean...
By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the call doesn't seem, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor forced him to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall? Oh, that's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. We've had to fucking correct her multiple... Okay. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18.
I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Well, according to her testimony, she saw her pull out the phone, but judging by her positioning, she must have been behind the partition at that time, so how could she have told... How the hell did she notice that she was able to get on the telephone in the first place? Really? You sure about that, ma'am? Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. What? Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in block B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Ah! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone.
Well, it does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical.
What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox?
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Starr lie like that?
Huh?
Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant?
Oh, I just realized where I fucked up. Oh! She lied about her positioning! Oh, dang, she's right.
I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone.
I see no room for doubt here.
You are the patooey on rice, right?
Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something there.
Okay, one more try.
I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Where she saw it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie.
I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location?
Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Skye's Starr witnessed this
from Mr. Wait a minute. So, hold on. I was getting ready to say security room, but then she wouldn't be able to see on the other side of the partition unless there was some sort of camera in the security room that allowed her to actually see the car itself. So... Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If it is a security room, there's gotta be some sort of camera. There's gotta be some cameras around here, so there can't be an actual blind spot. But then that brings up another question. How the hell was she able to take a picture from this side? Oh! The lunchbox! It's either the lunchbox or she had some sort of... Oh. An accomplice. It had to be here. Take that! This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. So she would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. Oh, right, duh, I'm an idiot. It's above. Never mind. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remembered in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Gotcha, bitch.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If the witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me?
Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Okay. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. So her boyfriend had to be part of the security guards? But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The angle of view to It would have to probably be... Wait. Well, if she had somebody working with her, unless she did mention that there was a box view that had a hidden camera, which means there's a chance that it could go off at a specific time, which means she probably would have had to have some sort of knowledge of this, or... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is the distance to the crime. Because angle of... Angle of view would automatically put her into the security guard station. But... I've already messed up twice now, so I don't want to screw this up. I think it's supposed to be...
Vital? Yeah, I think it's the distance to the crime.
It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, you... Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
What the quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend. Stop making me hungry.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it.
Then how did you...
That's why I had to go through the visitor's pocket in Babylon.
That's quite a detour. You wouldn't have enough time to get her.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
For 5 minutes? Why? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Oh my goodness, give me! Absolutely. Oh, wouldn't that count as bribing the judge?
Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do you have any evidence to stop this?
I'm gonna raise an objection.
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente.
I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
Well, that makes no... A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill you. I'm not trying to accuse you of doing that, my dude. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close. Shit! I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
You're not getting any more caviar, you son of a bitch.
Hold it.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid whales, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off of me! I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything left else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? Possibly, honestly. I would not be surprised if she... Oh, God. Does that mean she's been hiding stuff again? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Anyway, out of deference to witnesses' determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Okay, Your Honor, I'm going to have to call bullshit on that. Shut up! I'm hungry. We all are! Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? The victim's shoe.
Wait a minute. Those aren't white.
2 taps of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood tap matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe!
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness! What's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
What? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You call that sullen? You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. Oh, that's the victim's shoe. What? Wait, the victim's shoe? But you... Hold on. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Hold on. Wait. What the... Huh? Ah! There's blood here, too! On the sole of the shoe? It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible. Huh. This blood might be an important clue. There's blood on the shoe. Hold on. This blood. It's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
Poor sis.
But there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. I don't remember there being any... But that's not... But there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Why was there no footprints in the crime scene? If I didn't know any better, why is there... Okay, there's two details that are just kind of egging at me right now. If there's blood on the bottom of the shoe, but I do not remember there being any footprints at the crime scene. And if so, how the hell did how did the blood get on the victim's shoe in the first place, unless it was intentionally put there? Okay, there's gotta be something that I can bring up about that.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say, I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that,
a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy, the vile lot known as prosecutors.
Hey, that's my Edgeworth. Don't fuck with him. He's me. He's mine. My good boy.
Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence.
Oh, I should have brought this up earlier. Honestly, though, one of the comments actually kind of brought this up about this. But there's a possibility that this whole rumor about him spreading, like, the whole falsified evidence and shit like that, technically, there is a plausible theory that Von Karma was the one who was spreading those rumors. I mean, he tried to implicate Edgeworth in a murder, so it makes sense that he would use his status to spread these false stories about Edgeworth to try to ruin his credibility. Thank you, commenter, who told me about this.
When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
This, when the suspect is admitting she did it? But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime.
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here?
It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensics department.
If you're going to submit something as evidence in the court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman.
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found in the shoe.
You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie.
Huh?
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
You gotta be kidding me.
Really? Even I was a little bit... That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear.
That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe?
A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There is a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. The thing that's been bothering me this whole time. Take that! I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
My witness just threatened death on the defense attorney. I'm more focused on the blood on the shoe. Your Honor! Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? The crime scene, there's no footprint. The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. I was there! Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order! 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 Well, witness. What? Huh?
Good going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think!
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Edgeworth? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint of the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum. She's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one, a leopard woman. Rah.
I told you not to say that. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? You don't mean... Oh, to wipe away the footprints. Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. But why was there water in the oil drum in the first place?
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence.
That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it.
But...
Enough! There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well.
But Angel Star's on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. There it is.
Little girl, what did you just say?
Huh? Me?
Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side?
Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. You've got to be kidding me. The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cop-up queen.
Look at this. A photograph.
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet. Wait, there's something in the tailpipe.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind, immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems that this is what your sister wanted anyway. But there's... I'm sorry, Mia.
Right? Wet or not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
There it is. Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
Well, there's something in the tailpipe here. Like, why would there be there's some paper here, so why exactly is that there in the first place? That's what I kind of want to know here. But, I mean... Wait... But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want you to know what the hell this is. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said
A car muffler! That's why she said muffler.
However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. It's a car muffler, Your Honor. A muffler is also a part on a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. Oh, I see. And I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Fuck you! Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this was important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
The phone! Muffler!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony to the court. For the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler?
Yeah! Could it be that the muffler you had heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. You lose. Kind of. Oh boy. Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do deserve a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew! That was close. But we made it. At least for now. Shit. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all, and I've got quite a bit of food to eat. He's still hungry? He's a very hungry boy. I'm going to...
Holy shit. Okay, that was stressful. And this woman is a nightmare? Ugh. Oh, good lord. The amount of the heavy bias. She is desperately trying to get Lana convicted. And we have a bit of a clue as to why. And apparently Edgeworth is involved somehow. But anyway, that seems like a pretty damn good... That's a pretty obvious place for us to go ahead and end it, so... Oh, boy. Edgeworth, I am grateful for your... I'm gonna count it as help, because he kind of did slightly help. Because it seemed like it was more or less a battle between defense, prosecution, and this bitch. But anyway, if you all like this, be sure to let me know, and I will... My head hurts, I'm gonna go lay down. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.